Alright then, so today we're going to look at smoothly transitioning from one number to another. So what I mean is if I press this button right here, it just switches to 200, is adding 200. So if I click it again, it's 400. But if I hit the smoothly button, it'll transition up like that until it gets to the 200. Add 200, go up to 800 and stop. And same for subtracting as well. So that's what we're going to look at in this video. So let's go. Alright then, so this is what I've got so far, just a quick setup of a widget. It doesn't actually do anything right now. If I press play, you press the button, this doesn't do anything. So all I've got set up here is obviously to set the UI only mode, and I got a reference to my game mode, because that's where we're going to do the code. You can do it in your player controller or your character, whatever you keep your scores. That's probably where you want to do it. You can't do it. I can't do the code for this tutorial in the widget itself because you can't do timelines in widgets. The only other bit of code I got here is I'm getting my game mode reference, getting the score and printing it out onto there. If we open this, if you've got this comma here and you want to get rid of that comma, just make sure that is unchecked, use grouping, so now it'll just be 4 zeros. So that's what we've got the score coming from the game mode ref, and that is it. So let's do the code in the game mode. Like I said, you can do this in any way you want to. I would like to have done it in a function library, but can't use timelines in function libraries again, so there we go. So anyway, we're going to start in the game mode here. We're going to do a custom event, and we're going to call this just score. That's a good name. Right, we're going to pull off that and go timeline. You can name the timeline whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it as is. We're going to open the timeline, add a track, a float track. I'm going to name this alpha, and I'm going to right click and add a key, and add right click and add another key. First key in the time is going to be 0, and the value is going to be 0 as well. Second key, I'm going to do time 1.5 seconds and a value of 1. Because I've got 1.5 seconds there, I'll have to have 1.5 seconds in the length as well. So I'm going to close that because we are done. So the next thing we're going to need is a loop. So a loop, if you don't know, will take the value of A and the value of B and then transition from A to B or B to A depending on the alpha. So the alpha will be 0 to 1, so we're going to plug our alpha into that. So as it goes from 0 and counts up to 1, so we'd be like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, up to all the way up to 1, it'll transition slowly or faster depending on how fast you set this. In our case, 1.5 seconds, it'll transition from value A to value B. And there you go. So I'm going to get my score, and we're going to plug that into the score, and we're going to click that to the update pin. So the values A and B, we're going to drag onto the adjust score custom event, so it'll create the pins. And I'm going to click that and change the names to from and to. Yeah, you can name them what you want, but that'll do for me. We're going to compile and go back to our widget. So we're going to need our reference to game mode, and we're going to pull off that and say adjust score, and then we're just going to copy and paste these. I'll just control D to duplicate them. So we got one for each. Now then, we got our two values. So what do we want to do? We want to get our score. So if we drag off this and say score, oops, that's adjust score. Let's do that again. Get score, so that's going to be the from. So in this case it's 0 at the moment because there's no points. And what we're going to do, we can set a value in here, or we can pull off this and say plus, and then plug the return of that in there. So we can add, you can have this as a variable, of course. You know, this code can be run from wherever you want, like from pickups, whatever. So let's just add, I don't know, 250. And then for this one, this is the down button I've created. We're going to get score and we're going to plug it in there from, and we're going to do a minus, and we can put whatever we want in there. We can put like 100 for example. So this is where you would put this code probably on something like a pickup. They could pick up a coin, and maybe the coin's worth 250, and then this then would be possibly on a, when you get attacked or something and you lose whatever. This could be health, whatever it is, and that's essentially it. Let's press play and click add, and then it cycles up to 250, and then you press, so when I press sub now, it was what, 100. So it should go to 150. Oh, it didn't cycle. It's not cycling anymore. Uh-oh. I know what I've done. If we go back to the game mode, take this out of play and put it in play from start. Let's try that one. So go up to 250, and we should go down to 150. There you go. And if I do it again, it should go down to 50. Yeah, and that's it. And it'll always be, no matter what the amount is, if we change this to be like 1,000 or even 10, oh, there we are, 20,000, it'll still be it'll still do it in 1.5 seconds. So it doesn't matter what the amount is, it'll always be the same amount of time. This is the type of thing you would see at the end of like a lot of platformers, where they tally up your points at the end of the level. So that this way it's always going to be 1.5 seconds. It's not going to take any more time for the player to actually watch this animation happen. It'll always happen at the same amount of time. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to show to you. Nice and easy. That is it. What I would like to have done, like I said, is done this into a either a macro library or a function library, but you can't use timelines in them. And as far as like making this available for any float that we send in, I've tried, but the only way to do that would be to make this pass by ref for the from, and then you would have to go by ref and select that, and then plug these into there. But the problem is, it just doesn't work. Pass by reference doesn't work on custom events, even though the option is there. I wish Epic would do something about that. He either make them work or take that button away, because it's confusing, and I've spent a lot of time, or wasted a lot of time trying to get it to work, but apparently it just doesn't work. So there you go. So you would have to create one for each use case you might have. So you might have a score one, you might have a health one. So you just have to copy and paste these and change the value here to health or whatever it is. Anyway, that's it. I'm rabbiting on too much now. So that's it. I'll see you again. Ciao, blau.